How you guys doing? Just a little repeat. My name is Buzzy Sklar. I'm the CEO and founder of Sliderz Restaurants. Just a couple little factual things. We're actually not franchising. All of our stores are corporate-owned stores. Give you a little background on myself. I opened my first restaurant in 2001 in Miami Beach. Became pretty successful, little bar restaurant. Wound up expanding that to 3, and then I sold the concept off. Got out of the restaurant business, but any of you in the room that are in the restaurant business, you know once it's in your blood, it's impossible to get out of your blood. As much as we try, you know, it's like The Godfather. It keeps pulling us back in. So I opened up another restaurant chain called Burger and Beer Joint in a bad luck location. I love when people always say, don't open there. It's a terrible location. It's a bad luck location. 10 things went in and out of this location over a 10-year period. I couldn't beat the rent, though. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take it. 8,000 square foot restaurant, sports bar attached to it, bad luck location. First year I did $6 million. Again, I'm no God's gift to restaurants. I just, worked my ass off and really made it happen. Opened up our second location, a Burger and Beer Joint. We did $5 million in that location. Someone came knocking on my door, really liked the concept, bought it out from under me. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm out of the restaurant business. Finally, I'm done. Of course, my non-compete runs out 2 years later. I sit my wife down. I say, honey, guess what? I've got one last great concept in me, and that's it. And she, of course, looked at me like I'm crazy. I figured the divorce papers were coming any day now, and got back in the business with my Sliderz concept. Opened up my first store not even a year ago in November. Been unbelievably successful. It's a fast casual slider restaurant. We specialize in 15 different kinds of sliders, not just a burger. I saw what was going on in the marketplace with companies like Shake Shack and how they really lifted up the burger concept of Burger King and McDonald's. And I said, you know what? No one's ever done this to Crystal Burger or White Castle. I said, everyone loves a slider. It's on every high-end menu. You can't go into a restaurant where they're not doing some sort of high-end slider. So I have a young daughter, and to me, being health conscious is pretty important also. So I decided we were going to go hormone-free, antibiotic-free, free-range chicken. Really hit, not the buzzwords for hitting the buzzwords, but really, making a conscious effort. Opened up our first store, and the reviews were great. And had, the delusions of grandeur. I was going to be in the franchise business, and I wanted to have a ton of these. And all of a sudden, popped up my head of retail, gave me a call and said, hey, you interested in going into a mall? And in my past life, I was in the mall business. I don't know if any of you remember merry-go-round stores in the malls, but I was vice president of merry-go-round. And I'm like, wow, I never thought I'd be back in a mall again. And pardon me, we opened up our first mall location in Boca Town Center in South Florida. And out of 684 square feet, we're trending to do about $2 million in the store. So it really opened my eyes that there's nothing like built-in traffic. And trying to get someone to come to your location is definitely our hardest battle in the restaurant business. We could have great service. We could have amazing product, but we still have to get someone to walk through that door. And that sometimes costs a lot of money, whether we're doing the Groupons of the world or we're giving 30% up to Uber Eats to get someone through the door and get the volume going. It's very costly. So I said, you know what? I'd much rather pay a higher rent and not have to really worry about all of those ancillary costs. So I pivoted our concept really early on to go into the mall business. We got very, very lucky. We did a 30 mall deal with Simon Malls to go into all of their luxury properties. They're really trying to turn over what they have now in the mall business and bring in hot, fresh new concepts and get rid of the Subways of the world and all that. I'm sitting in a mall next to, Gucci and Bulgari and Chanel and my little concept. It's a bit of a dichotomy, but we're sitting there right next to them. And then, again, the light bulb went off again. And we decided we want to get into the airport business. I never really worried about what people thought, like, oh, you're a mall food court store. To me, at the end of the day, everybody's money is green, and we have to really remember that, as opposed to letting our ego get in the way in the restaurant business, where we always want to put out beautiful, pretty food. and we always want to put out, something that is going to get that 4-star rating. I went after the masses. Only you know what's best for your particular location, your particular restaurant, but never let your ego get in the way of your business. And unfortunately, in the restaurant business, it happens a lot, especially to those of us that are chef owners. It makes it even tougher because we become so tied to our food, and it's our baby. But sometimes we really have to separate the food side from the business side. Just to give you a little bit more about Sliderz, by the end of 2017, we'll be at 100 corporate-owned locations, doing approximately $150 million a year. We got very lucky. After one store, we were approached by a big private equity firm that put a $21 million cash infusion into our business to help us grow. Again, you definitely need a lot of luck in this business. We happen to be at the right place at the right time. The former the CEO of the private equity firm happened to come from the mall business, still loves malls, realizes a little bit is going to online shopping, but he made his first $100 million in the mall, so he had an affinity for it. He saw what was going on with the food court experience, how malls are now spending a lot of money to change over their food courts and make it more of an experience. They're getting rid of the old and in with the new, and we happen to be, again, at the right place at the right time. And that's where a little bit of the luck comes in, but at the same time, you have to make your own luck. My definition of an entrepreneur, which anybody in the restaurant business, in my eyes, is the consummate entrepreneur, is someone that's willing to jump out of a plane and you figure out how to make a parachute on the way down. Because that's really what the restaurant business is. You're jumping in blind. There are so many things that could go wrong in your day. Your servers don't show up. Your chef got sick. I mean, anyone in the room that knows the business, has done anything and everything from probably mop the floors to plunge the toilets to be on the line, burn yourself on the fryer later. I mean, it's a crazy business that we're in. And why we keep doing it to ourselves, I don't know. Like I said, once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. I really don't want to take up a lot of time talking. I would really rather open more of this up to a bit of a Q&A type atmosphere, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have questions on how we got to where we are, where we're going, how it relates to what you're doing. I really want to thank everybody at Revel for having me here. I think they've done an incredible job. I'm not really here to do a commercial for Revel, but they've really taken a lot of the pain points out of the day-to-day for us. The best thing about them on our eyes is they actually listen to us as customers of theirs. They try and make things happen for us that we need to happen within the system. So I really just want to thank them for that. That being said, I'm going to open up the floor to questions. All I would ask is, try and speak loud and just state your name. Anybody? Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a great question. His question for the room was, is there any technique that I've found to be a great marketing technique that's helped drive traffic? For us in our couple of street locations, the delivery services have been amazing. Instead of paying upfront marketing, basically what we're doing with an Uber Eats of the world is we're paying Uber the percentage every time we get an order. So you don't have that incredible layout of cash that you would have if I'm going to take an ad. Social media advertising has been amazing for us. Great way to get a lot of impressions and a lot of eyeballs for a very low cost. Plus it allows you to really geo-target in on who you feel your customer is. No one knows your customer better than you. You could really geo-target down to that customer level and get your message out there in a pretty cost-effective way. So I think between those two things, it's been really helpful. The online ordering for us has been amazing. I think it's worth the spend as an add-on for your register system, and mobile app ordering is our big push now going into the last quarter of the year. Hope that answered your question. Anyone else? Yeah.
So going into the mall business, price per square foot would be in the mall place versus off the mall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. Price per square foot. Basically, I never look at a lease as a price per square foot. I look at it as an occupancy cost. Just to backtrack on that question a little bit, know your numbers, guys. Everyone, I'm sure, has a bookkeeper, has an accountant that does their bookkeeping or their marketing or their accounting for them. Can't urge you enough to learn QuickBooks and understand it yourself. That's going to be my biggest lesson. Because if you don't know your numbers, you can't figure out your food costs and you can't figure out your labor costs and do all the little things, you're really setting yourself up to fail. So now, getting to that question, I look at it as a total rent roll. So it could be upwards of $200 a foot. But at the end of the day, if I'm a 600 square foot space, I look at it as a total number. So that would be about $10,000 a month. I try and keep my occupancy the maximum at 10%. So I have to now say to myself, could that store at $10,000 a month be a $1.2 million store a year? If I could put a check next to that, then I would sign the lease. If the economics don't work on a deal, as much as you love that space and you think it's the greatest thing ever and look at all the traffic, the economics have to work. You have to, in your heart of hearts, be able to say, I know I could do $1.2 million in that space and keep my rent roll under 10% to go forward with it. So you might have a deal that's at $30 a square foot, but you're a big space. At the end of the day, can you keep that economics under the percent that you need it to be? With us, we're at a 25, 25, 10, which is basically 25% food cost, 25% labor cost, all in. That's with your workman's comp and with your taxes. You guys have to remember to include that. And then a 10% occupancy cost. But really good question. Again, only you know in your heart of hearts if that's a real number. And don't fool yourself. Really don't fool yourself and put your budgets together. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
We're in a mall. I'm sorry, Stuart.
Hey, Stuart.
We're in a mall in a Maui location. And
Could I come visit you?
we're not seeing the foot traffic from the mall due to its lack of performance. Do you bail, or are there other things?
His question is, he's in a mall business in Hawaii. He doesn't see the foot traffic that he used to see. Do you bail, or are there things that you could do? First thing is, you have a personal guarantee on your lease would be the first question I ask you. Okay, then bailing is a little bit easier. Personal guarantees make it a lot tougher to just walk away from something. There are incidental things that you pay being in the mall. I'm sure you're paying a mall marketing fee. I'm sure you're paying a food court common area fee. The mall wants you there. They want someone that they know is going to pay the rent that enhances their food court and their mall in general. These things are always negotiable. You could always go back to mall management and try and renegotiate them. But there is always that point of diminishing returns where you're not going to keep throwing good money after bad. So, only you know where that point is and how much you want to keep feeding your business, if it's a losing proposition.
To follow up,
Please.
we are not a food court or a standalone restaurant in the mall. What can we do to drive that traffic?
So you're an inline restaurant in an outdoor mall and an indoor mall. So it's an inline restaurant in a lifestyle mall. It's tough. I mean, what we've done, I look at the mall business where I look at all of the mall employees as someone that basically pays my rent. I go after the mall employees because they're there every day. I don't know how many stores you guys have in the mall, but that's one of the factors we look at before picking a mall. We actually go after how many mall employees there are, how many stores there are, size of the mall, and then if I could get 10% of those people on a daily basis, that should pay my daily nut. Then anyone shopping in the mall and anyone above that is where I make money. So what we've done is we put what we call our VIG program in place, our very important guest program, where we incentivize the mall employees by giving them a discount to come dine with us. And we're seeing multiple times. They'll come for breakfast, they come for lunch, they come for happy hour, after work and for a beer. So if I could capture that mall employee as many times as possible, I think that's really the best way to go about trying to boost the mall business. Plus, when someone's shopping in a store, who's the best person to ask? The mall employees are like the concierges for the mall. Anyone shopping in that mall is going to ask them, where should I go eat? What's good? Right there, you're building loyalty amongst the people that are there on a daily basis. Hope that answered your question. Please. Yep. Sure. Mm. Yeah. Just so everyone could hear, he's basically saying he's using the Revel system with the group feature to actually make special groups for mall employees. And I agree, once we could really filter that CRM, I think it's going to make everyone in this room really dangerous to be able to pull up who's buying, their buying habits, and be able to really market to those people right through our Revel systems, which I think. Right. Right. Plus, in the mall business, you basically a lot of the mall leases are also percent leases. So when you're showing them a gross figure and they keep seeing major discounts on your paperwork, mall management doesn't really like that too much. That's great. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Mhm. We have it. We launched our we just launched our app for Apple. I'll tell you, as a mall employee, I should have brought some pictures. I mean, we queue about 3 deep at our in front of our restaurant. If I'm working in a store down I don't have that 15 minutes to wait online. But if I could go on the mobile app, I have all my information already put in there. I could pre-order. I say I'm going to be there in 10 minutes to pick it up, and basically just it's already paid for. Instead of waiting on the line to order, I'm just waiting on the line to go pick it up now. So it's a tremendous time saver for a lot of the people in the malls. I get off a plane and I'm starving, and I know down the concourse, there's a Sliderz. I could order it, pick my food up, and head right to my Uber and head home. So we're looking at it as a tremendous asset for us. A lot of our locations happen to be near colleges. The millennial market does not want to wait in a line. They want to do everything on their phone. So if I could, be a little bit more convenient for that market and make it easier for people to actually spend money with me as opposed to somebody else, I'm going to make it as easy as possible for people to spend money with us. Anybody else? Yes, sir. We did put our franchise docs together, which is very costly and very time consuming. We did go that route. Then what made it easier is we got a $21 million investment to open up corporate stores. Yeah. So that was that pretty much made me pivot quick. I was like a ballerina. I was pivoting so much. So that really made it a lot easier. We wanted to be able to control the concept for a while. We wanted to be able to control the brand. It's a lot tougher to control the brand when you're in a franchise model. Just on a management level, we can don't have to layer as many layers of management in and supervision. On a corporate store level, we could have one area supervisor for about 10 stores. We felt in the franchise level we needed it one for every about 5 stores. So it was just, better for us. And like I said, I'm not going to lie. The tipping point for us was, getting that big investment and allowed us to just roll out our own corporate stores. And then we got very lucky with our deal with Simon Malls, who's the biggest mall developer, putting that 30 mall deal together with them. Then we put a 15 mall deal together with Westfield, GGP, General Growth, which is another big mall developer. We have a 15 mall deal. And then Macerich out here on the West Coast, we have a 10 mall deal. So we're ramping up really quick. And like I said, that's really what made us pivot away from that. Is it something that we're going to do? Without a doubt, but it's not on our immediate radar. Anybody? Yes, sir. Hey, James. You see the lack of hair? I don't sleep much. It's really difficult. I mean, you're only as good as your team is. Whoever said you're as good as your weakest link was a genius. We try not to overlayer. I had my first employee, we hire from within. That I'm always a firm believer in that. So my employee number 1, who was my first GM, is now my director of operations. He just moved up the ranks with us. And anyone that's going into multi-unit, definitely try and hire from within. It really builds that strong team. The enterprise solution from Revel has really helped us out a lot. I mean, it's a lot easier to get one email in the morning than 100 emails with the sales from each store. The mobile app right now, even though it's in its infancy, it's really been helpful for us. But at the end of the day, it's you have to trust the people that you bring to the table to work with you. So like I said, we have one regional for every 10 stores. We always give people the opportunity to move up, not only up in the corporation, but actually move. We have a store opening in DC now. We have one of our GMs actually moving from South Florida up to one of our DC locations. And we have 3 other stores opening in the Northern Virginia, DC, Philly area. So he's going to manage the one store, be our GM, and then we're elevating him to our regional for the whole Middle Atlantic states. So, we don't make idle promises to our team members. We really, try and make promises and follow through. It makes it a lot easier to manage. But at the end of the day, you really have to just trust in your people, trust in your reporting. And that's how you really have to make it happen. It's not easy. It really isn't. That was my particular, biggest pain point was how am I going to manage someone here in San Francisco, DC, Miami, Chicago, but you make it work. FedEx could do it, and they can move packages around the world the way they do. I could manage a few stores around the nation. Hope that answered it. Any other questions? Yes. Sure.
We don't have it yet, but we've been contemplating it. Now, we understand the online orders, which we're not open for business, so we haven't been using it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I understand, the online ordering, when you pull up on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
the online ordering, you can order right there. What has the mobile app or the white label app helped you versus the other?
Good question. Someone doesn't have to look for my website. Right now, to just use the online ordering, which we have, you could go to sliders.com, you could order online. Someone sitting at their desk at work wants to order in lunch. We're getting a lot of the orders through the mobile app. I mean, through the online ordering from the desktop. The big advantage is someone could pull out their phone, and if you want, I'll show you after. They just click on the little Sliderz icon, and everything is right there for them. They don't have to go to their Outlook or go to Chrome, find the Sliderz website, pan through the website. Where's the online ordering icon? Even if you made your website mobile responsive, it's still not as easy as going right to an app. Right now, if you notice, some of the biggest pushes with some of the biggest QSR firms out there, whether it's Chick-fil-A, I mean, they made a huge push recently for online ordering. I don't think anyone probably does it better than, Starbucks with their order and pay. So that's really the way of the future. Here in California, I mean, I have to say, with minimum wage going through the roof and being in the restaurant business, I'm sure it's a major concern of everybody in this room. Online ordering, kiosk ordering, it's really going to help bring your labor costs down in the end. It's a shame that it's going to go that way, but it's the reality of the situation. Unfortunately, minimum wage is really pushing people out of jobs, not really making people more money, in my humble opinion. Anyone else? Yes. I'm sorry. Well, the nice thing is it runs off the same Revel Enterprise backend. Do we have to actually scale our back of the house, our kitchen? When we first launched Uber in one of our locations, I never, in my wildest dreams, thought it could move the needle as much as it did. We have a North Miami location. It's a street store location, not a mall, and pretty high population density. And we were one of 100 restaurants that launched with Uber Eats. Our first day of launch, we did 50 orders, which was pretty incredible. Just for lunch, we did it. I think we're up to almost 130 orders a day in that location with Uber Eats at an average ticket of about $19. So we had to scale up a little bit. I mean, we're doing almost, I think, 60% takeout and delivery in that one location now. But at the end of the day, I really don't care if it's someone walking through the door, ordering online, ordering through the app. It's still an order. It's still food going out of the kitchen, and it's still money going into the register. So, for us, it's really, like I said before when I answered the marketing question, it's, between Uber and Grubhub and Postmates and all those other delivery services, we've really used them to our advantage as a tremendous marketing tool that really, moves the needle, that you don't feel the marketing expense until you actually get the order. So, yeah, we had to ramp up. We definitely did. Yeah. Hey, Luis.
We're going to open our first location in a mall. We already have 5 previous ones.
Oh, congratulations.
Something very different for us.
Yeah.
We would love to target the mall employees.
Mhm.
Kind of for our daily,
Yep.
What kind of rewards have you seen that they respond better to? Or what are some examples of rewards you offer?
Good question. His question is, what rewards do we give to mall employees? We kept it really simple. The more you complicate your discounts for not just mall employees, but for anybody, it gets a little convoluted. What we did is we kept it really basic. We said you get 10% off for credit and you get 15% off for cash because we're saving that, 2% credit card vig. So kept it really easy. I'm sure the guys from USAE Pay didn't want to hear that, but sorry, guys. But we kept it really simple. And we made a beautiful card if you want. I'll show you an example of it after. A hard, almost credit card-like card that they just present at the register. And the best part about it, getting back to sort of what this gentleman over here did, how we made everyone activate their card on first use. So we gave it out to everyone in the mall. When they came up to the register first time, we made them activate it by giving us their email address and their phone number, which becomes their loyalty points number. So it's been really, really great for us. Again, don't ever complicate your discounts and your offerings because then it's all across the board. Keep it simple. We felt 15% really moved the needle because a lot of the other people in the mall were giving 10%. So I figured, if they're giving 10, I'm going to beat them out by a little bit by giving 15. My pleasure. Good luck. Good luck. Where's the location?
San Antonio. We're from San Antonio in Laredo, Texas. It's going to be right on the border in an outlet mall.
Oh, I got to tell you, we're opening in Sawgrass Mills, which is a huge outlet mall. We're opening here in Premium Mall right here in outside of San Francisco. The outlet mall business is incredible. If you get that great mix of tourists, and locals. I mean, it's really worked very well for us. Good luck. My pleasure. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
For your regular clients, the rewards program, how do you manage?
Very simple. We didn't do a rewards card. We just basically, everyone remembers their phone number. It's really not that, intrusive to ask someone their phone number. And we use it. We never spam people with their phone number. We never SMS message them, and everyone knows it. So when, just like if you go into a CVS and they say, are you a rewards member? And they go, I don't know. I'm like, oh, give me your, let me know your phone number. And we plug it in and we register them right away. So we get phone number and email. We keep it very simple. I know a lot of restaurants will get birth dates and so on and so forth, but we try the less information we felt to get from someone, but enough information where we want to contact them was very important. Going forward, what we've done is we've actually done email campaigns asking them, for a little bit more information, birthday information. And if you incentivize them, then people don't mind getting an email, happy birthday. And you're giving them a free meal or a free shake, or especially, with the kids, they love it. There's nothing like, when a kid comes in with his little birthday flyer and, gets a free shake on us, so they really appreciate that. But the rewards program done right, the key is to make your matrix right. So how many points are they going to have to accumulate to get the reward? And what is that reward going to be? So we always try and keep our rewards at about 5% is my number on the reward. So for instance, if they accumulate, 60 points, they get a $3 item at about 5%. And that's how we work it. So, but only you know what your economics are going to be.
And do you base your rewards per visit or depends on
Dollar for dollar. Every dollar spent is a reward point with us, but it's not worth a dollar. It's worth, like I said, 5% of a dollar. So it would take them 60 points to reach the first reward level in our store, which would be a free slider at $3. So again, that's really the key, is figuring out what your economics on the rewards are going to be, so you're not giving away the farm. And we do it a little different. I know in the rewards program, you could actually put values on every item in Revel, and then you could actually just do it that way. We just say it's a 5% reward. So once you get to that threshold, you could cash it in for hats, for T-shirts, more than just food with us. And we're actually installing that now. That's the next big thing we're loading into our mobile app, is the actual loyalty. Anybody else? Yes. Yeah, that is on the Revel Rewards platform. Exactly. Very easy. I mean, for me, one of the great things about it is the ease of use with the Revel, platform. It was super simple to, just every time you add a product in, at the bottom of your product sheet, you could actually say, what that's worth. So it's super easy to do. It's a great way to collect data from your customers. Like I said, as long as you're not, too evasive, and as long as you're using that data properly. That's why I'm really looking forward to being able to, dig into the CRM when they have all the filtering done in the next Revel push. I think is going to be amazing for everybody in this room that's on the Revel platform. Yes, ma'am. How do we incentivize our employees? We actually do a lot of contests, and it's worked unbelievably well. I mean, everyone is competitive by nature. So one week we'll do a double patty contest, add an extra patty. Whoever wins that, and we give them, nice being in the mall, because we'll go out and we'll give them gift cards from around the mall. We also have the gift card program with Revel. So we'll give them gift cards for them, their friends, and their family to the restaurants. Contests work really, really well. People love free stuff too. And they're working anyway. Why not give them, the upsells? And it really can move your day about, 10 to 12%, if they're upselling the right item. And, we'll every couple of hours say, oh, Jane is winning today. She's got, 14 upsells, and, Tim has 12 upsells. So now all of a sudden you see, Tim's really working his ass off to upsell that item. And we put a little competitive fun in between the whole staff. And we found that's really worked the best. A lot of your vendors, depending upon the business you're in, will also, help push the items that they sell you. So whether it's your butcher, that's providing your beef, Pepsi or Coca-Cola, has a new product coming out. They'll help incentivize your employees to push their items. I know when I owned my bars, all the brand managers would come in all the time, and whether it was Grey Goose or Absolute or whatever it was, and they would have ring contests on a weekly basis. Whoever would ring the most of that particular item, the money didn't even come out of my pocket. It came out of the brand's pocket. So there's nothing like using brand money, to help incentivize your employees and make you more money. What business are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in the restaurant business for years, but I have a retail store.
Oh, so you got away from the devil. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. I was in retail forever with merry-go-round. I went the opposite. I went from retail to restaurant. So I guess I'm the crazy one and you're the smart one. Anybody else? Yes.
We launched yesterday to start giving customer phone numbers, and we've had a lot of resistance already, which I was surprised about because I do it all the time everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
We told our staff to say we don't use it for marketing purposes and stuff like that, but we still had a lot of people not do it.
We just let them know. Are you registering them through the loyalty program, or you're just asking for their phone number?
Basically, we need to text them when their phone's ready and they collect it from a certain area.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using like a buzzer or something.
Right. So you guys aren't using pucks. You're actually using the Revel system to SMS them. See, I always found when you incentivize people to sign up for something, they tend to give you a lot more information when you're giving them something. And we tell them, as part of the loyalty program, they're going to get X, Y, and Z if they sign up. And because I'm giving something back to them, they're willing to give me, 7 digits of their life, So I guess really you have to figure out a way to let them know that it's in their benefit to give it to you. Maybe on the first time, that they come in the door, you give them 10% off. And you have to figure out what the lifetime average value of that customer is going to be and what you could give to them to incentivize them to give you the information you're going to need. And most importantly, how are you going to use that information going forward to upsell, make them a repeat customer, basically get the most value out of that email address or phone number that you can get. Email campaigns are easy. People could hit delete. So it's not as evasive. Phone numbers, again, once we let them know that they're getting something for it, it'd been a lot easier to do. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Claudia. QuickBooks. We use the online version of QuickBooks. But it's a big meeting that I'm looking to have while I'm here because as we're growing, my bookkeeper's sort of hating me because we do not have the QuickBooks integration yet. So he basically, our CFO told me that if I do not come back with some solutions, don't come back. So that's a big part of what I plan to do is really sit down with the guys from QuickBooks and look into actually putting the full integration in because, again, the easier I could make it on my team, the happier they are. I don't have to worry about them, drawing faces on my picture in the office and all that other fun stuff and throwing darts at me. So, we're really looking forward to hopefully getting the integration, and bless you. So I'll let you know how that works out. Yes.
How many people, or how do you manage Revel, administratively speaking?
With the enterprise system, it's actually pretty easy. It only takes one person because we make a change in the back end and it changes across the whole enterprise, which is, for me right now, it's a godsend. So we were able to actually have one person who's our director of ops at this point. He is the Revel contact. We've always had a client relationship manager since store one, and they've been unbelievable. I don't know if you guys are opening up a new place, but that first month or two, pay for it. It really helps. that $99 is the greatest headache that you'll take off the table. So I would definitely, get that client relationship manager, at least for your first few months of opening. It's really amazing. They've really upgraded their customer service, which has made it easy. So for us, it's really a one-person job at this point. And we'll see going forward as the CRM and campaigns become a lot more detailed on the Revel end. If we might have to put someone in, that does marketing, also now might have to start to work with Revel. But, just from a pricing, discount, meal standpoint, the only thing that's done at store level is inventory. So when the orders come in, inventory is done at store level, but all other Revel operations are done at the corporate level.
And are you scheduling your employees per store?
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we do run all of our labor. The one thing I love, because being in the business for so long, I've heard every excuse in the book, as I'm sure all of you have also. Oh, I didn't see the schedule. Oh, I didn't know I was working that day. The great thing with the Revel scheduling, it sends them the email. They have to actually hit, I saw my schedule, and it comes back to us and lets them know that they saw it. So it takes all those, excuses out of the way that they never saw it. I had no idea. My dog ate my homework. So yeah, we do all of our scheduling. And it's also great to just give you a snapshot of a projected labor cost. Our bonuses for our staff are based on hitting food cost and labor cost on a monthly basis. We pay out monthly bonuses to our GMs, assistant GMs, regionals, and director of ops. So it also gives them a quick snapshot of what their estimated labor cost is based on what, sales trends have been. So it works really well for us in that aspect also. My pleasure. Yes.
Just on that, how do you balance customer experience? You're incentivizing them for bringing down labor costs. They're going to have less people and get more complaints about the same product.
They know in my world, the guest experience is paramount. And I found out very early in my restaurant career, and I'm going to use sorry if I offend anyone, the people that you fuck up on the most can become your greatest cheerleaders if that situation is handled properly. And unfortunately, too many people in the restaurant business, especially restaurant managers that don't have an ownership position, are great at making excuses. You know what? That burger came out at the wrong temperature. He doesn't care why it came out at the wrong temperature if you're a guest. Change the burger, make it right. The customer is always right. And I'm a firm believer in that. So that's the mantra that we run our business by. So labor really never comes in the way. And just to give you a great example, I'll give you a quick little anecdotal story. When I opened up a burger and beer joint, our opening night, we were on 2.5 hour waits. It was one of the most anticipated restaurant openings in South Beach, which there are some great restaurants in South Beach. I don't know why everyone was, wanting a burger all of a sudden. And we shit the bed that night. I was on 45-minute ticket times for a burger. I mean, we were just terrible. Thank God the food came out really good. And I went over to every single table in the restaurant personally. And I gave everyone their meal. And I said to everybody, I said, hey guys, when your food does come out, it's on me. And if you happen to like it, all I ask is give me another chance. I'm really sorry. It was terrible. No one should ever have to wait this long for food. But if you enjoy it, just come back again and give me another shot. And this one guy was there with his 2 little kids, and he was hating life. And I saw the steam coming out of his ears, and his kids were starting to get crazy. That gentleman, because we treated him right, and we took a bad situation, and we made it into a good situation, did every kid's birthday, did his anniversary at my restaurant. Anytime, friends and relatives came to town, we were the first place that he took them. So again, customer experience and just treating people the right way and just really remembering, don't make excuses. We all make mistakes. The kitchen makes mistakes. Your servers make mistakes. Your register people make mistakes. It's just how you handle those mistakes can really set your restaurant or store up for tremendous success if handled properly. Anyone else? Good, I'm getting parched. Guys, thank you so much. Again, I want to thank Revel. I want to thank everyone in the room.